Pastor Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
Is that really all she can say? Oh my. Hey friends, welcome in. Thursday it is. Robert Imbriali with you, and I have two amazing co-hosts with me today. I gotta say though, a little housekeeping here. It's been 27 long days and 26 nights that we haven't seen Bruce Poppy on the show. Who's keeping count? No one's tracking that. No one's paying attention here, right? We also have Master Baggy. He's in the chat room right now, but he's also with us. You know him as Eric Adams or Master Baggy. And he's going to be joining us. Going to have a lot of fun. I should let you guys know that people complain about Rumble, and I know we're streaming on other channels as well. So Renegade Media, an unpopular viewpoint on Rumble, official Renegade Media on YouTube, and on X, Renegade Media TV, if you want to follow along there. We can have, sometimes a better viewing experience. Real important for you. All right, a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. I just want to let you guys know that the Monday show, the Movement Show, is on the shelf for right now. And people are like, oh, you're going to do it? You're going to do it again? I'm going to do something different on Mondays. And I've decided, and, Bruce is going through this too. He's looking for, what's next in his career, right? So he's moving forward. And it's like, it really is catching a lot of us now, because for the last 5 years, we've been involved in this political stuff and all of it. And we're like, okay, we want to get back to the stuff that we have been doing natively, and I think for Bruce it's starting in a new direction, but for me it's going back to a lot of the things that I used to do. So the Movement show's on the back shelf right now, but it does not mean I'm going to be sitting on my hands on Mondays. No, I'm going to be hosting a mastermind. It'll be called the Renegade Mastermind, and it will be paid. And will not be free. It will not be on Rumble. It will not be anything like that. It is an interactive mastermind. And it's primarily for entrepreneurs, digital marketers, e-commerce site owners, professionals that want to solve what I like to call the lone wolf syndrome, something I know a little too well. Spending way too much time by myself trying to figure it all out. When you realize when you can set a network up around you, you can get answers really quickly and get past whatever challenges that are stopping you from moving forward. So if something that you're interested in, getting past the trial and error, my gosh, there's so many errors you could make. It's better to have a bunch of people come together and help you with the challenges that you're facing. This is something that you want to do. You want to have a network, whether it's the one I'm setting up or create your own. Don't go it alone, right? You want to be successful. You want to go far. Put a network around you. Bruce and I were talking about this a few weeks back, and we lost a lot of friends, a lot of people on our network in 2020 and forward when we started to talk about this kind of stuff. And that's the bad side. The good side is we've created a new network. I've got two people on this show today who are close friends, and they weren't. I didn't know them before 2020, and because of all of this, so we've got a new network going. So I encourage you to build your own network because it's real important to do so. So the mastermind you will find, if you want to go online and find it, it is at roberti.live, roberti.live/group. And you can find out more information about it there. If this is something you want to do, I welcome you in. It'll be a lot of fun. And, we're going to change some lives. We're going to make some money for you. We're going to teach you how to build a very successful business if that's really what you're into. And I'm looking forward to making it happen. Oh, I didn't put that slide up, huh? There you go. roberti.live/group. I'm seeing it on my screen, but you weren't seeing it on yours. roberti.live/group. Bruce has been in this room. He knows it's like a control room. There's so many pieces, moving pieces here. Speaking of Mr. Bruce, after 27 long days, he comes back and joins us here. Hey, Bruce, how are you, my friend?
I am well-ish. Well-ish. I didn't realize that people were tracking me that close.
They really are.
It's exciting and a little bit stalkerish at the same time.
Actually, it was kind of interesting.
Things are good. I've been battling a bug this week trying to trying to take me down, but I'm saying, nope, screw you. I'm winning.
Ain't happening. Ain't happening. And our other co-host today is Eric Adams, Master Baggy. How are you, Eric? Good to see you.
Awesome, sir. I love you all. I'm with three of the four. It could be three amigos, but Lewis isn't here, so in his stead, we're the three amigos for him. So we're good.
Hey, you know, Lewis is always invited. I've always tell him he can come on.
I know. He watches. I get Lewis. We love you.
Oh,
high five. I-10. Keep on pressing on, sir.
Got the wrong name under you. I got to change your lower third there. Let me put the correct Eric Adams there, huh?
My name is not common.
So. Your name is there now. There it is, right there. There you go.
Yeah.
See things I can do when we're live. Bruce Poppy. You look at what Bruce is doing. He's getting into coaching more and more. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Again, he gets a little bit of a segment later on to talk about it. But how's it going? How's the mindset shifting coming? And I know that you're real excited about the new direction you're headed in.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that the very seemingly right after I did the big video, of the kind of overview of the Unleashing Excellence pathway and the three pillars, that all kinds of crazy crap came upon me, testing my mindset, testing me, the tools and different things, because we always think about, when people talk about this type of stuff, you got to be perfect, and you got, everything's, as soon as you make a decision to stay positive in your life, everything's going to be puppy dogs and rainbows. Nah, that's not the case. Not reality, folks. So that's kind of more twisted in. What I'm doing is my personal experience, a lot of my stories, the things that I've lived through and done and understood, and how I'm evolving myself, and the pathway that I believe the Creator has led me to bring forward is exciting. So I'm implementing this stuff as we speak and learning and growing every single day. It's not about Unleashing Excellence isn't about perfection. It's about progress. And so if you can make just one tiny little change and be a little bit better, just a tiny fraction better tomorrow than you are today, then you're winning.
Yeah, you proved a point. That's something I talk about all the time, and we're going through it as a society too. We're going through great change, and with great change comes chaos, right? So you're saying, "Hey, I'm going to change my mindset. I'm going to change the way I'm doing things," and all of a sudden, things like just don't work this way, the way they used to now, because you've got new energy, you've raised your vibration, you're more excited about it. It throws a dynamic that you were used to. The status quo gets all messed up, but that's not a bad thing. That's growth. That's what that's required.
No, absolutely. And that's become some of the challenge as well, because to really move forward and make the effective changes in your life, whatever area of it is, it can be, relationships, health, business, it doesn't matter what it is. The things that we think, how we operate in the past, those tools, those tricks, those ways of thinking will not work going forward. You have to make some adjustments and changes, and this ties into all the geopolitical stuff we talk about too. If we want to see the change, in the world that we want to see, right? The evil's taken down, people being held accountable, kind of a level playing field, give everybody the best chance and shot to be able to be all they can be. We cannot do that with the same thinking, and I'm battling that myself. I'm battling my old self, and the way that sometimes I was having a coaching session today, and some of the deeper stuff that's in there, and how I'm thinking and I'm feeling like I'm not getting enough done, but I'm hearkening back to the old me, and that's not the new me, and so it's a process to change and understand and really embody the things that we want to see, the change that we want to see in the world. We can't rely upon, because if anything we figured out over the past several years is that there's nobody's coming to save us. We got to do the work ourselves.
I set you up a little bit there, Bruce, because I wanted to mention that on December 30th, if you guys like the content, this kind of thing that Bruce and I have been talking about, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a little presentation, probably be about 4 hours or so, and we're going to bring on some people that are in this space. We want to have you, the goal here is to have you have a great mindset going into the new year. I know it's not the real new year, we get it, but it's the one we celebrate, right? It's the way the calendar is set up right now, and that's where we're going. So when we're staring down the barrel of a brand new year, wouldn't it be great to have a great mindset to take on the challenges? It's not for right now, because we're all in the Christmas mania right now, right? Going crazy with everything that we did get ready for the holidays. But after the holidays are over, you know that week when you don't know what time it is, you don't know when the last time you ate or you took a shower, you know that week between Christmas and New Year's? December 30th will be our day, and we'll have the event, and we'll promote it a lot more, so you'll hear a lot more information about it. But that's the kind of thing we're going to talk about. So the guys are here today. You saw the opening video, and oh my God, those eyes were something else on Erica Kirk, right? Some people say it reminded them of Hillary Clinton. Very, very direct, very stern, very, very telling. The kind of the expression on her face talking about Candace Owens and what's been going on there. So we got a little bit of a catfight going on. The way you probably look at it is like these two women battling back and forth here. And, Candace used to work for TPUSA, very close friends with Charlie Kirk. And so the two women that Charlie left behind, they don't get along. And so we're going to talk about it. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on, stuff that Candace is bringing up. And what's happened, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong here, but what we're seeing is a split, even in our group, right? We're seeing some people who are like, Candace is out there, she's out to lunch, she's crazy, what the hell she's talking about? They're on Erica's side, and there's other people on Candace's side and say, there's nothing wrong with her asking questions. There's nothing wrong with her, digging in. And because she's doing it, it turns out a lot of the whistleblowers are contacting her with their information rather than going to the FBI. Eric, what are you seeing? Give me the quick overview, and then we'll dig into this.
Compromised. So let me just. I listened to. I'm going to try to condense this with a Candace platform. Working with Ben Shapiro, way back, right? All right. So Ben, to me, I followed Ben like Ben. Yeah, Ben. Yeah. I mean, just followed him, and all of a sudden, I saw this slow turn of, I don't agree with that. However, he had his hardcore followers follow him. All of a sudden, Candace is fired, and with his company, and she turned on a rabbi and his daughter, because they had this sex toys and some sexploitation crap, and then she zeroed in on him. He fired back to her, and it was a back and forth. That sort of settled, and then she zeroed in on, just fast forwarding again, Macron and his husband. Wife. my bad. So when they said, "Oh, we're going to file a," sure, that didn't happen. It did not happen. But then we fast forward from the Macron to here we are, and she didn't just let up. I mean, she just kept going on and on to the point of, here we are now of, you've got conservative movements, platforms, that are turning on her, which is Tim Pool, if you will, just to be straight up.
Yep.
They're back and forth eating at each other to where she's going and going at Erica, telling me to stop. Well, apparently Erica said stop, and she didn't do it. So do we go for 3-letter agency psyops, or do we go for, no, this is real? And honestly, if you look at the background of Flynn and a couple of other people who have their military PSYOP Air Force specialty code, which is what they do. I mean, what do we know? I mean, we are looking at like emotional, like, yeah, this is what's going on, but no, we'll take a turn at Albuquerque, as Bugs Bunny would say. I mean, what do we do?
Oh no, we're quoting Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, sorry, my bad, but it's the truth. They'll take that left turn at Albuquerque, but it's because they're feeding the masses with just nominal information, not secret, not top secret. It's just, see, this person's bad, this person's tainted. That's my guess.
Bruce?
Well,
here we go. He's queuing up.
Sorry.
There's all kinds of, different ways you can go. It's a distraction. Bottom line,
Yes.
If anybody with half a brain and one eye believes the narrative that this is a slam dunk, situation, that they got the guy, he was a lone wolf. If you buy that narrative, then I think you're still part of the problem.
Yep.
What these gals are going back and forth. I mean, there's multiple people, and now it's even, like Eric was saying, it's spilled over from just TPUSA and Erica and Candace to Tim Pool, and I think I maybe saw Stu Peters,
Yes.
jumping in the mix here. So this is still a hot topic because the FBI has not done their job properly. This is, and it's like I said, anybody with half a brain and one eye can see. I mean, just the fact of the 30-06 thing, and it would have taken his head clean off. It would have vaporized his neck. Hot dogs do not stop a bullet coming from 140 yards. So it's like a tin can, flying into a building, and that's going to take the whole building down. This is the territory that we're in.
Yeah.
So then you got to look a little deeper. What's the distraction from? And it's just a matter of us again continuing to not unify on our side. I've said it many, many times that the one thing, I hate the labels, that the right, conservative, MAG, whatever, that we're really good at is this circle firing squad. We cannot get out of our own way. We're continuing to fight and bicker and backstab and bite and defame all kinds of different things each other, and while the country's still going to hell in a handbasket, as much as you want to believe and see and read between the lines of what's happening with the economy and every darn thing else. Yeah. If there's movement forward, it's very, very minuscule.
Yeah.
And so I think that we, the people, deserve and expect and deserve, a more truthful accounting of what's gone on over the past. Just pick it since 2012. Just go back to there.
Yes,
and we can clean up a lot of this mess. And
How
still,
about
nobody's.
November? How about November 1960? Why don't we start there? Or 1963?
Like I said,
yeah,
you can go all the way back into Roman time. So I mean, just a short period of time holding some people accountable. So I just think it's a distraction, for us, and continue to give it energy, and it continues to have life. And so.
See, Bruce always brings the balance to it, right? Because that's what we're seeing. What we're seeing, the circular firing squad, we're seeing our side being torn apart, and we're fighting each other over this. And I am all for wanting the answers. I'm 100% on board that the FBI story is bogus. It's a cover story. It's a horrible cover story at that. Yeah. It's like covering a book you don't want people to see with Saran wrap. You know what I mean? It's like. Why?
Rob, can I just let me just say that I mentioned this before in our conversation. I own a 30-06 hunting rifle. I know the damage that rifle can do. At this point, and forgive me, I'm not trying to diminish any role. I don't care I'm on a fence of two areas. I can tell you this man did not die from a 30-06 round.
No.
That didn't happen.
No.
The problem I have is the upsweep of how she came into memorialization, all of a sudden CEO of Turning Point, her mother and father background. And by the way, I will tell you, I work for the RAY background. Look it up. As a civilian person leaving the military, Theon. Okay, that is as our local country politicians. Hey, let's start a war. Lockheed, Raytheon, all these Boeing, all these companies, and they gain their stock in that realm. So I know that part. And all of a sudden, this person, she comes into effect. I have asked today at 4:40 or 3:45. I said, show me one picture of a baby bump, because mothers, God bless all mothers, they have pregnancy photos times two. We've never seen that. All the videos, by the way, of the children are facing the parents with no faces. There's something wrong with this. And let's get beyond what happened as far as the death. Let's get beyond what's going on right now. The patent leather pants and the very emotional hug with the vice president. There's something not right there. I mean, you're suffering a death. This stuff. I have an issue. I have bled my spleen today in about 30 minutes with this whole concept, because she is suffering the death. She became CEO, TPUSA, and now she is on all the platforms, Fox Now especially, and they're coddling her into she's a victim. I call BS. Just saying.
Well, there's a lot of story too about it not being the same woman. You go look back at pictures earlier, and you'll see that it's not the same. It's not the same face at all. It's close, but it's not the same face. What are you seeing, Bruce?
I've seen those photos as well, and it in today's world with the AI and Photoshop and all that stuff, you got to take all that with a grain of salt. But of the photos I have seen of a not that much older in time frame in the past, of Erica Kirk, the shape of her nose and different things that just don't, as you age, things adjust and fill out, but it doesn't. You don't change the structure of your face in that period of time.
I saw your wedding photo, Bruce. You look the same.
Yeah,
you didn't change. 41 years later,
well,
you look the
my
same.
hair's a little shorter.
Yeah, well, that's normal, but the face structure doesn't change, right?
No, I know. Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, that's my point. There's, there's a lot of people, going on about, this person 2.0 and that person 2.0. The two that I say is, pretty much undeniable is I would put Erica Kirk one of them and Joe Biden the other. Mm-hmm. The other ones, you can, angle of photos and different stuff, but there's, who knows? And this is some of the stuff that drives us crazy in the truther movement, because like I said, we're grown ass adults. And I think that we, coddling the population for this drip, drip, drip stuff to help wake more people up. I'm not, buying that line of reasoning any longer.
Yeah, we're all kind of caught there, aren't we, at this point? And I think one of the struggles that we have is, and I deal with this, on a daily basis too. It's like, well, how do we know what's real or not? It's getting harder and harder with AI to pick out the fake videos, and it's like it's easy to get fooled, right? So
Did you see Gavin Newsom had an exclusive video of Trump, Hegseth, and Miller, in handcuffs doing the perp walk? This is the type of stuff we're dealing with.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
to be fair, so I work with a person who, I appreciate him hand over fist, and I talked to him, gosh, maybe 6 years ago. He was hard pressed, specific, hardcore religion. We were the very first religion, and I'm not gonna call him out. But today he said, "Oh my gosh, you've been talking to me for 4.5 years, and I finally checked out." And here's what he said, because I've seen Erica Kirk on all the MSM platforms. I said, "There's your problem." He said, "No, Eric." He said, "The people I followed, I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna tell not on him, but Sean. Oh gosh, Sean.
Fresh.
No. Okay, you shouldn't say Sean. No, but Fox News. Just go there. And he said, "Holy cow, she was on there. Can I have my own piece because of my husband's death?" And I told him, I said, September the 10th. We're December the 11th. Where's he said, "Eric, last night when I saw Bill O'Reilly and Sean Hannity and they invited her in on," yes, exactly. She's their darling. It keeps that whole influx going. And I said, "Did you not look at the memorial?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, go back and look at the memorial." And when Mr. Vance walked up and gave that intimate, that hug of like, there's something wrong with this. You wore leather pants, like you were going to Miss Arizona's walking down the aisle, and then you're hugging the vice president. I have a problem with that. He said, "You know what? I just found out last night that was wrong." I said, "Well, no, that was wrong after September the 10th, but you're getting it now." And I said, let's not bleed into Palantir if that's the issue. But someone recorded that it had 270 plus thousand people in that area. And I said, was that phone? Was that IP addresses? Was that phone numbers? Was that spyware? We don't know. But I'm telling you, you're down. I'm saying down here, and I'm talking about my navel down here, and all of a sudden, you're seeing it now. But thankfully, he said, "I'm done with Fox. I'm done with the 5. I'm done with Gutfeld." I said, "It took you to figure out this now when?" But he got it. He gets it. And I'm grateful. But I have been talking to him for almost 5 years.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Yes. Yep.
So the question I have for you guys is, the FBI story clearly falling apart. Candace is doing tremendous damage to TPUSA. So they trot out this Erica Kirk character to do a lot of damage control. Do you see that going on? Do you see them kind of propping up the FBI story? She's like, absolutely, Tyler Robinson is the guy. He did it. That's what I believe. Right? Is that what's going on?
Weaponry, no. This kid has, no. We've heard Mauser. I know these weapons. Mauser, a takedown high-powered rifle. Nope. A 30-06. I've already said that you would, if you got shot here, absolutely not. You would be, This over here, absolutely not. I will tell you this. I'm from South Carolina, live in North Carolina. I will tell you 30-06 weapons are for elk, moose, and bull deer. Big, big.
Big animals.
All right.
Yep.
Yes. Robert, no. Absolutely no. So you heard Mauser. Okay, look it up. Then you heard a takedown rifle. Okay, look it up. And then when they said 30-06, oh, it's
Well, the
almost
photo they
like
showed of the-
9/11 all over again.
Yeah, well, the photo they showed of the gun, the scope wasn't even mounted correctly. I mean, if you had fired that gun the way that scope was mounted, it would go right through your eye. I mean, it's just like.
But 30, I mean, the 30-06, no. So if we go to 9/11, and thank God, Lewis even said, I was pulled in the same way he was because I was in the military.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, something's wrong. Well, yeah, now something's wrong, and they can't figure it out. So for a person, if you will, the wrong accused, to be on a ledge, and all of a sudden, now it's takedown. No, you don't do that.
Bruce, do you think this is part of the cover-up? Trotting Erica Kirk out there and all the news shows?
Well, I think it's a money grab on all sides. I believe, that's the first thing that pops into my head. Money grab. It's continuing. Maybe TPSA isn't as vibrant as what we thought. The initial shock and awe and the sympathy after the event maybe it's starting to wear off. They're wanting to keep it in the front of people's consciousness. Having her trot out, and on the big platforms like Eric said, Fox and the others, and not having Candace Owen on, that just tells you what they're trying to drive a narrative. The point and counterpoint. I think they nixed or they refused to have that debate. Didn't the producers challenge Candace to come in and have some type of debate about the facts and what she's portraying?
Yep.
There's and I was trying to find it on X. I saw it earlier. Maybe you found or saw it. Who was it that said that they? It was on a Facebook post, and it could have been BS because I didn't click on the link because I never click on links that I don't really know about. That's a IT thing you should never do. But they said they had recordings of this producer meeting with people a couple of days ahead of time, and there was an exchange of a briefcase and some hot mic thing about the producer's thing. Once he signs off, it's done. So there's some pretty other damning type evidence allegedly, and we'll see what all ends up shaking out. And here's the thing too: how can we get any real resolution when the premier law enforcement agency in the entire world has already closed the case?
We're not going to.
100%.
And that's the truth about it. And that's where the frustration is for all of us. We keep looking at this and say, when are we going to get answers here? Butler, Pennsylvania, we have no answers. And oddly, it doesn't seem like Trump is pushing for any answers. He's like, I'm satisfied with what the FBI said. Really?
I talked about Butler today. And I can tell you from a security perspective, all right, it's not that you have a dignitary show up at a site. You got a president or former president show up and it's like, we don't need drones. We don't need to scope the area. And then you're going to blame a 19, 20-year-old kid for firing a shot in the ear. So we'll let that dog lie. But to find out where we are right now of these, not even misnomers to happen, and you don't even have an answer to what's going on. I mean, where do you pinpoint? I'm sorry. I suggest enemies within. That's the best thing I can tell you without telling you enemies within. And we'll go to the number system, those agencies, and this is what's going on. Well, gosh, I'm telling you, I think you were all in where I was working today at 3:45. So the registered nurse I was talking to, I said, look, I said, the corrupt piece of this whole thing is Washington. They barter, they disagree, they challenge, and they go to the same steakhouse. At the end of the day, they eat the same steak, they clash the same beer mugs, and they go, hey, I'll see you tomorrow. And I told him, I said, where does that leave us? He said, frustrated. I said, no. I said, here's the problem with these platforms right now. Dimple, Candace, Erica's not even a platform. It's a different world. To me, I feel like here we are, for example, us. We're supposed to be disrupted, so we clash, hate each other, and disband, so we have no voice. And so evil slowly creeps in like a disease that they are and disbands this. You know what?
Okay, let's go. Let's take it, Eric. Let's take it back to a bigger picture here, right? So, Bruce, you and I have been talking about this for a long time too. It's like these systems, the three-letter agencies, our government. Trump seems to be going about it. We're just going to fix it as we go. We're going to patch it up. But I think the boat has so many holes in it, it's beyond patching at this point, right? So,
yes.
What are you thinking, Bruce? What do you think? This is the way to go, or should we tear it all down, start again?
Well, you know my answer. I mean, I say use the term, and I have to make sure I preface it with it is metaphorically need to burn the whole thing down and start over, because it's irreparable. It's you cannot fix it, and we're it's just too big of a monster, to be able to and you're taking some funds away here and. Exposing this one person, some lowly clerk for election fraud, and this one tiny little thing here, and the whole thing stinks to high hell.
Yeah.
And you can't trust. That's the biggest issue. I personally, my viewpoint, unpopular as it might be, is I have lost 100% complete trust in any governmental agency or institution. I hate that that term institution. They're a function. Their function and purpose in life is to serve we the people, and that is just diametrically opposed, 180 degrees from where it is right now.
Yeah, I'm of the same thinking.
Get rid of it. It's useless.
Yeah, I'm of the same thinking. It's like trying to patch this thing up is kind of useless, and you can see we're not getting anywhere. I mean, the frustration is just mounting every time Trump puts out an executive order. Which means nothing. It's temporary, if anything, because the next guy to come along will just sign an executive order, cancel it, right? So every time he signs
didn't the asshats in Congress just recently vote to repeal one of his executive orders?
Yes.
Yep.
What the fuck? The president is the problem. It's everybody below the president is who seems to be the problem. And the question comes. We talked about trust and losing trust in the government. Do you trust Trump? That becomes the bottom line, because there's that big thing, the split in the MAGA, and they're continuing to push that. There's I'm jumping all over the place. Didn't know if you have any of this on the schedule, but there's a huge, massive psyop going on with right-wing influencers and being paid and given clicks and views and having their ego stroked to be able to drive this wedge in the MAGA.
Correct.
That's what they're wanting to do, and have been doing, because they realize that they can't beat us, so they're trying to tear us down. That was their most recent pivot in the deep state realm and controlling narratives 100%. As they're going after the large platformed right wing influencers to start driving wedges, so we don't understand what's going on.
No, it's exactly what's going on, and we're seeing it too. We're seeing the battling, the infighting and stuff, and I'm trying to make sure you and Eric don't start fighting before the end of the show here. But
that's why you're Bruce
on the screen there. That's why you're in the middle. You're in the middle.
I'm in the middle. I keep
me from reaching over and grabbing them.
No,
Robert, Bruce is Eric. Correct. Eric's like a brother, man. He's like my older brother.
Bruce is correct. I mean, the objective is right now, and I'm going to be topical if I can. Let's just say, for example, Candace is 100% legit. Let's just say Tim Pool is 100% legit. Okay, I'm just being topical. The fighting is now with the conservative people. You've got the Tuckers out there. You've got the Candace out there. You've got the Tim Pools out there. They're now clashing. In their platforms is deteriorating the movement that we have been fighting to push for in the right direction. And now we have to sit back and say, okay, when do you have uncle, if you will, on either side? Is Candace CIA? We don't know. Is Tim Pool CIA? We don't know, but I can take you back to Ben Shapiro, way back. Ben had a following, conservative following. He spoke all the right words. He made all the messages, and everybody followed Ben. Then all of a sudden, guess who got fired from his pool, his platform? Candace. She went after a rabbi and his daughter, who was a very, you can look it up. I listened to her and she called them out. She went from him and his daughter to Macron and his wife.
Partner.
Sure. But then all of a sudden now she's going after Erica Kirk, to where Tim Pool was just some dude on a simple platform. So to me, I feel like they're trying to divide. Evil is evil. Satan, Lucifer, evil is evil. The divisive one to divide what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So to me, it's remove the layers, remove the drama, stay focused. So, I mean, that's all I can say. And I have a hard time because Taurus, I don't go to astrology, but like Bull, but I'm learning. Thank you, Lewis Herms, wherever you are. He taught me. Bruce, by the way, is like Lewis taught me. Thank you, Bruce. But being on here is a neutrality of peel the layers back and look at the agenda. Now, seriously, that's where we are.
Well, you're asking for discernment is what you're asking for. And I think,
yes,
we have
100%.
a challenge with discernment because the information is so flawed that's coming out. It's interesting that when Candace was saying that she's targeted by French military, that she went to the FBI and the FBI didn't respond. Right?
Maybe a psyop?
Kind of strange.
See, we don't know. This is the problem.
We don't know. What we do know is we're not being told the truth. I think we can all launch off that diving board and say, hey, it isn't what we said it's going to be. And this is crazy too. This is Tyler Robinson on his way to court this morning. Look at this. This looks like a presidential motorcade. What in the heck?
Obvious on that. I do. Sorry.
It's all kabuki theater, man.
Exactly.
And then he's in court.
K-Fab.
This is the kid in court, smiling and laughing and having a good old time here.
A kid, Robert. This is a patsy. I mean, we can go back to seriously. I mean, no.
So he knows, right? The only reason he's going to be acting that way is he knows he didn't do anything, and they don't have anything on him. What else could it be?
Right, and you
We're
can tell
too smart for this. Yeah.
The kabuki theater and the drama, they're wanting to be at the next O.J. Simpson situation. Because they're fighting now over cameras in the courtroom. I saw today that they had they designated Erica Kirk as the assigned victim representative in the case. So it's all setting up to be a long drawn out drama to keep the country's attention glued to the screens, like they were watching that white Bronco driving through the streets of LA.
And while they're doing that, they're sending another $800 million to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Oh, No,
Frickin'
you're not
idiot.
supposed to see that.
If the glove don't fit, you're full of what?
Full of malarkey.
Yeah, malarkey. Yeah.
Crazy. The other thing I'm paying attention to is silver prices going through the freaking roof. 64,
Yeah, talk about wow.
51.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just went right by 62 in a day. It's like, what in the world is going on here? Any
So
ideas?
have you read any of the analysis from the financial gurus? What is the what's the reasoning behind this alleged sudden increase from a couple of months ago? It was in the 30s and now it's nearly doubled from then.
I know it's just insane. There's a lot of different things. A lot of it being the banks are behind a lot of it, and I think the Wall Street banks have been holding silver down. They buy it and sell it, and they kind of sell it to themselves, left hand to right hand, and all of a sudden, there are other individual investors. So there's more of it on the market that they don't control, I think, is part of the biggest issue.
Well, from what I understand too, from the silver aspect, is a lot of these banks have the paper silver, and they're screwed 10 ways to Sunday.
Well, they were shorting
if
it,
all
yeah.
of a sudden everybody shows up and says, "Hey, I'd like to have my silver, please."
Yep.
And they don't have it.
You guys don't know this, but Eric is sitting on a stack of silver. He's not sitting on a chair. The bars are lined up.
Indeed.
And that doesn't mean, even though you can still, people think they're missing the boat, it's done, it's jumped, but this is only the beginning phase. So I would still highly recommend that people get involved in silver some way, form, or fashion, whether it's you're buying coins, where you're buying bars, rounds. Even on the gold aspect, the gold is still, it's, come down a little bit, but it's still, up there. Is that over $4,000, right?
Yeah. 4,200,
So,
I think it is.
Yeah. I mean, even you can get fractional. You can, there's ways, and Matt with Verity Metals can help set you up on a program. You don't have to have a shit ton of money. If you can, scrape out together, stop going to Starbucks for a month and save that money, you would have call it $100 a month that you can put into silver. You're going to be better off, a year, 5, 10 from now, because we've got to play the long game on this stuff. Where it's not a day trading situation.
Nope.
But at 63, almost $64, the speculation has been, it could be in the multiple hundreds per ounce. If it was a real, true, free and fair market, and wasn't manipulated by the central banks and others.
Well, actually, if you look at the right side of that screen, the little call out box there, 64.51 was the high for today. So it dropped a little bit when I took the screenshot, but it was actually higher than that today. So yeah, it went from 62 to 64 like nothing.
Yep.
If you want to give
that
Matt,
screenshot there on the flat side before it starts going up, I can't see what's on the bottom there. Is that the months or is that year?
that's December 3rd, December 4th. I think it's 1
Oh.
week chart.
When it shot
Yeah.
up,
This is
that
a 1
almost
week
went
chart.
vertical.
Yeah.
And Matt has selflessly, by the way, for anyone who's listening, put his number out to call him direct, not some toll-free number, and we'll get back with you by email. He puts his number out there. Hey, call me and we will get back to you. That's a difference.
He plays
That's
a different
genuine
game.
as far, yeah.
No question. 480-717-9081 is your reach. Matt, veritymetals.com, either /Poppy or /Renegade. We'll get you there, and then you could find out more, because Matt is, he's an upstanding guy, and he does know a lot about this stuff. And the 401k, the IRA thing, you've already got money just sitting there in the stock market. You can invest some of it, put some of it in precious metals. You don't have to do it all. I think that's a good way to diversify, right? Protect your assets there.
Yep, I tell people just have the conversation.
Yeah.
Right. It's if you're looking to do something different, have more than one conversation. There's it seems like everybody and their brother's got a gold guy or your gold and silver guy,
Right.
but you got to call and talk and interrogate and get referred, find out, so you feel comfortable and doing business with these people, that they're not going to be blowing smoke up your butt. And then 6 months or a year down the road, you're like, oh my gosh, all my money's gone because it's getting eaten up in fees. So you got those are some of the things that you have to take into consideration. So I just have a conversation with Matt. That's all I ask.
Yep.
Yep,
And the
100%.
interesting thing too here is that we look at silver at 64. Predictions are that it's going to get to 85. Some predictions saying over 100. So again, it will close to double from where it is today. And it's a very stable investment. It doesn't go up and down. Typically, it doesn't go down. I think I looked at the charts from 1996 to 2025, and there were only 2 years where it was actually worth less. So
Year
that's
over year.
Yeah, year over year. And that's an impressive track record.
Yep.
So always going up, always growing. This is exactly my sentiment right here. I forgive you, Tyler Robinson, baby. Now, let's talk about that bitch, Candace Owens.
Oof, Tom. Yep.
Where's the forgiveness? Where's the love? What happened to the Christian faith? I don't know. What are you missing here?
Central casting.
Yeah.
Well, there's more.
And it just highlights. We've spent the better part of an hour talking about it. So I mean, that just tells you we're buying into it.
Well, it is, and this is from a guy named Adam Media. A photo has emerged of Erica Kirk with Benjamin Netanyahu's son in 2019 back in Israel. But she's been to Israel. That's where I think she met Charlie Kirk in Israel. So who knows? Who knows what it means, if it means anything at all, right?
Placement, maybe.
Yeah.
Just thinking out loud.
Yeah.
You have a children's whatever in Netherlands. You roll up over here, and by the way, the parents I looked up with the Raytheon and other background of the U.S. military defense systems. She rolls in here. You're Miss Arizona. Sure? That's speculation or for entertainment purposes only. But here's what I'm asking, Robert. I have asked since September the 10th. I have asked one person, and this platform, show me one picture of one baby bump. All mothers.
Here you go, Eric.
Have.
Read the list here. This is Emerald Robinson.
There you
Don't
go.
get caught up in the food fight between Turning Point and Candace Owens. Focus on the facts. Was the bullet really a 30-06? How'd the
Nope.
rifle get into the woods? Was an audit conducted? They said they found the
Nope.
bullet.
Okay.
Interesting. Where's Charlie
Doubt
Kirk
it.
buried? He's not buried.
No.
Where are the foreign donors? How about the Egyptian planes?
Okay. So Candace talked about the plane that flew in unannounced, and these agents came off the plane. But my question is this: for United States American women, the mothers always will have a picture of them pregnant. That's their embrace to their children. And every single video picture, as the children, two daughters, turn away from any camera, any photo op, there's no baby bump. Need I talk about Michael Obama? I'm sorry.
Michael Obama.
Oops, slip of the tongue. No baby bump with two children. That's my question.
Yep.
So now I'm sure AI, after my question, can produce this. But previous to that, something's not right. Something is rotten in the land
Bruce.
of Denmark.
There is no question. Hey, Bruce, how about we unleash some excellence? What do you think?
I would love to. I mean, I am doing it every single day. That's my my purpose in life, right now. And this Unleashing Excellence, there is a video that I did a live stream about an hour long, kind of giving you the overview of what this plan is. And it's about us unleashing we have excellence. God, number one, doesn't make mistakes. Number two, so you have everything that God is, we're made in his likeness and image. is already inside of us. So if you're having some, bad result in your life, do you think that's God's fault or is that your fault? Right. So we have the excellence in us. It's not that it's missing. It's just been buried underneath, the false limiting beliefs, the lies that we believe about ourselves and the world around us, the masks that we wear. And then even if you're aware of those two things, then people fall short, myself included, in implementing an action. That's what the forge, the three pillars of unleashing excellence is. Number one, burn the masks. We got to burn the fake identities and get in touch with who we really are. We need to unlearn to unleash. We got to that's freeing your mind from all the past lies and limiting beliefs. And then the forge is where you take that information and you start banging it out, hammering out those daily wins and daily reps to like a blacksmith and pounding, that metal, that heated hot metal into something beautiful. That's the plan and how we're going forward. So I'm continuing to flesh this out. It's going to have your workbooks and courses and all kinds of different things. The vision that I have for this coming forward is fantastic. It's going very slow because I'm just a one-man show. So the website is probably about 60-70% there, revamped it. I'm beginning to put some content out, but with me being a one-man show and, this isn't all that I do, I got to make some money too, because right now this doesn't pay the bills, but eventually it will. So I'm, bringing this forward and trying to help people, see this and put together systems. That's where most people are missing in their lives. This is like a system. It's a pathway. It's a roadmap, if you will. That people don't rise to the level of their goals. They fall to the weakness of their systems. And so we need to implement systems within our life to be able to have, tiny little steps forward and win and celebrate those wins. And you can stack those wins and become, move from motivation to discipline. There are all these different things. I could spend hours talking about this stuff because this is where I'm neck deep, head deep. I'm over my head in this stuff, trying to live and embody it and be the best that I can be so that I can, have information and tools that what works and what doesn't work. Because there's everybody and their brothers out there. You can go on any YouTube or TikTok and there's all kinds of success people telling you, you just think positive. You got to stand in front of the mirror and do affirmations. All these one little pieces. You got to put this whole thing together. It's a package. It's a system that will enhance, will unleash the excellence in your life. Doesn't matter relationships, health, business, finance, doesn't matter what it is. You can unleash excellence in your life if you do the work and follow the steps.
BrucePoppy.com, ladies and gentlemen, that's where you want to go. And if you want to follow me, I am at renegademedia.tv or at Renegade Media on Telegram and Renegade Media TV now on X as well. So if you want to follow me there. And like I said, I'm doing a lot of cool stuff with the mastermind. I'm looking forward to that. RobertI.live/group, RobertI.live/group. If you want to find out more about what I'm doing, what I got my hands into, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really, Bruce, I'm excited to get back into marketing and training and stuff that I've been doing pretty much my whole career. So it's kind of fun to be moving back in that direction. And there's, it's always with a motivational bent. My book is called Motivational Marketing, just to give you an idea. So there's not just one without the other. They're uniquely tied as far as I'm concerned. Bruce, you're going to have mugs available?
Yeah, I would. If there's going to end up being, a whole product line, I have this vision, the shirts and different things, so people can, display and share their passion for unleashing excellence in their lives. And maybe some people might not even be ready for this type of stuff. Maybe you're happy with the status quo and living life surviving instead of thriving, right? You're happy and comfortable in the scarcity mindset and wondering, where your next paycheck's going to come from. There's more month left over at the end of the money. So if you're completely happy in that, hey, this isn't for you. This is only for people who are willing to do the work. And it's sometimes it's painful, and it's simple, but it's not easy. Anything worthwhile is never easy. So, but if you're willing to strap it on and go through the process, I guarantee you, I know it like I know my own name, that you're going to be better off on the other side if you participate in what we're doing here. The community, I have the vision that I have for this is massive. So we'll see how it all shakes out, but that's my plan. Yeah, the whole merch line and all kind of stuff.
Speaking of taking things on the chin, this is a story that just is, I don't know why we can't solve this. This is crazy with Tina Peters.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Yeah. Oh my gosh is a great reaction to that. I mean, apparently they put her back in solitary confinement because she was attacked again in prison. And, she applied this week for a pardon with President Trump. And there are a lot of lawyers, her lawyers, saying he can absolutely pardon her because this is a federal case that she can go into the federal witness protection and he can get her out of there tomorrow. But I don't know why it's not happening.
Yeah, I don't know either. And she's, her cancer is coming back. She's not doing real good physically. What these guys are doing out there in Colorado, it's the epicenter of deep state corruption in my mind. We want to look at the big cities, Chicago, LA, New York, but there in Colorado, it's horrible.
Yeah. You wouldn't expect Colorado, but I mean, Colorado's blue, I know, but I guess these are the states that we've kind of overlooked and didn't pay any attention to. That in Michigan, Detroit is just a disaster, and so is Pennsylvania. And we look at all this and go, wow, it's like we've got so much to clean up. And Mike Lindell today, who really is supporting a lot of Tina Peters' legal bills, he's been paying for her. He doesn't say it, but he's been paying for her legal fight pretty much since the beginning. He announced today he's running for governor of Minnesota. And it's like, guys, why would you get into the political game? Aren't you more powerful outside? Doesn't he have much more of a voice outside of that game? But okay, that's what they think is the next step.
Yeah.
If he's not careful, the politics of all this evil can suck him into the same black hole as to everyone who comes in innocently thinking they can change the world.
Yep.
And they go into the same card game and we got you. That's the downside, I guess, of it.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I keep seeing that same thing too. And it's like, you go in there all innocent thinking you're going to change things and they change you. And then all of a sudden you become part of that, another cog in the wheel of that system with no power. Marjorie Taylor Greene, what do you think about what's gone on with her? That is really a strange story.
I think initially, I think she was butthurt by Trump not endorsing her to run for the Senate there in Georgia. And she realizes that, fighting this machine, it is an uphill, almost losing battle in her mind from her perspective. So, and who knows what she's going to end up doing, in the future. We'll see. Her and Matt Gaetz were kind of a strange ones. He was, a short list for Attorney General. Now he's just doing podcasts or news stuff. He's out of politics altogether. So, who knows what she's thinking and what the future holds for her. But she's been one of those ones that's kind of weird. Came out all firebrand on fire, and then she kind of went off the plantation for a little while, and come back. So she's been kind of wishy-washy. And now she seems to be somewhat in the anti-MAGA crowd.
Yeah. Eric, what do you think?
Eric's got a shit-eating grin on his face.
No,
he knows.
No. I agree with you 1,000%. She has been putting her face out there on the platforms that are not realistic, but to pump herself up. It's almost like she's putting herself out there on all of the view. Just pick a platform, CNN, MSDNC, all these platforms to beat her chest and goes, hey, here's my voice. You had your voice when you were sitting in a seat. And so look this up. I could be wrong. I think I'm right. 5 years ago, January the 2nd, oath of office. I'm going to quit January the 5th next year. That's 5 years, golden umbrella, and millions of dollars. And she can speak negatively all she wants to because she's announced her, I'm leaving with all this money. So now do you trust her?
Yeah, she waited to retire until the 2 days after her 5-year vestment
Yes.
Yep.
for all of the benefits that come with being a member of Congress.
Golden
So
umbrella. That's 20 million bucks for the rest of her life. And I think Milo is her speechwriter, allegedly. Milo Yiannopoulos.
yeah.
I'm guessing. I think I'm right. Look it up. So he is on all the platforms talking crap for her while she's Georgia. Okay. So she's sitting back collecting this money while he is throwing poison darts to all the media and to DJT. And is that her voice? No, the View here, the all-time low, the platform that she talked against, and all of a sudden she's going to speak her mind and her mouth on the View. She knows her retirement, if you will, January the 5th, one day before the 6th, 3 days after the 2nd, when she raised her hand. That's not a coincidence.
Nobody said she was dumb. She knows how to play the game, right? I'm not, I don't really care about that. I mean, in
Nope.
that position, I think all of us would probably do the same thing. It's like, yeah, if, that's my
Yep.
vesting day. I'm going to stay until then, and then goodbye if I'm out. I think she just
Yep.
is one of the people that the machine is spitting out, right? It chews you up and spits you out, and she's been chewed up. She
Yep.
spent apparently
100%.
millions of dollars of her own money flying around supporting Trump when he was running for president. And so she's kind of pissed off. That she didn't get the support in return that she believes she should have.
But hurt.
But hurt.
Yes.
But hurt. Bruce is sending an image. I can't get the image, Bruce.
No. I'm going to email it to you. You can share it when we get to the end for the comedic relief type stuff. Because Eric's been talking about baby bumps.
Uh-huh.
So this is just an image. I'm going to put it in line in the email and see if it pops
Okay.
up.
Let's run
There
this
you go.
video while you do that.
I think it's shameful to see the defense of individuals who break our laws. We are a nation of laws. If we are not a nation of laws, we're no nation at all. And that is what we are doing every day, is following those. If you guys don't like the law, go change it. That's your job. You don't complain. I was raised by a dad who said we don't complain about things. We fix them. Well, go fix them. If you don't like the law, quit bellyaching, quit hitting and attacking our ICE officers, quit going out and protesting and screaming vile things at them, quit calling them names. We wouldn't let our children do that. Go do something that actually matters by having an honest debate and changing the law. That's your jobs. You all should be fired, in my viewpoint.
Whoa.
Drop the mic right there.
Yeah, she blew it up really good there. I always liked her. I mean, I always liked when she was the governor there in North Dakota. South Dakota? North Dakota.
I think she was south.
I think she was south, right? Yeah. There was stories this week that Trump is going to get rid of her. I think she redeemed herself if that was the case. I don't think it was true, but yeah.
Yeah,
Firebrand.
you don't believe anything unless it comes from DJT's mouth or on his True Social.
Correct.
It never happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so she's talking to the committee there and just telling them you should all should resign. Like, whoa.
I mean, it's true. It's true.
It is true, but we're at a point where decorum is out the window. You know what I mean? On both sides,
No, yeah.
it's just like we've
Right,
lost that
right.
a long time ago. You know, I love it though.
They try to keep it with their stuffy rules and things like that, but no. She's 100% correct, and you are as well, Robert. Yeah, the decorum, common decency, having the the maturity to be able to have an intelligent discussion of differing viewpoints and not not want to start calling names. That's where we've lost the founding of our country. I mean, it's I still harken back to the founding fathers, hashing out the Constitution and Declaration of Independence. It nearly came to blows sometimes. They were wanting to fist fight and punch the shit out of each other. But they worked it out and they got it done.
100%. Do we have that same grit today,
Nope.
Bruce? No, we do not. I got 2 kids. Not going to go into a lineage. I've got 25-year-old, 20-year-old. Tried to teach them the whole John Wayne grit. It was a fiasco with me as a parent, to the education system. I just need to you need to be, don't do. Your school teaches you to do. I'm teaching you to be. A different story. Thankfully, now being 20 and 25, they're out of that realm. But I mean, look at them today.
I got grandkids, that are suffering that same. It's horrible. I mean, if it's at all possible, please, if you don't do anything that we ever suggest, pull your kids and homeschool them. It's
10 trillion.
You can do it. You're not inadequate, right? There's plenty of ways, co-ops, different things, the curriculums. There is zero, not a zilch reason to be able to shuttle your kids off to have some crazy, pouring crazy ideas into their heads.
I'm laughing because of the picture you sent me there, Bruce.
So Eric's talking about the missing baby bumps for Erica Kirk, and so I just went into ChatGPT and I said, hey, create an image of me being pregnant, and I uploaded a picture that I had of myself, a kind of a full body shot, because a lot of mine are headshots. So then that's what it came up with. So that's what ChatGPT. Look at my face. I don't even look the same there.
No, it changed.
And I'm about to pop that baby out any second. I'm like 12 months pregnant there.
Yes, you are. Dropping a field of watermelons, you are. Yes, sir, you are.
All right, we have Bannon here talking about the Democrat Party.
I believe the Democratic Party is as close to a terrorist organization as you can get, and if we start doing the real investigations of this, they will be designated a terrorist organization. What they've done to the United States, they plotted more so even than Muslim Brotherhood and CARE, right? And all these Islamic radical terrorist organizations, which are bad enough, and we got to get to the bottom of and get them out of the country. These people organized an invasion of our country. We got 15 to 20 million illegal alien invaders here that have destroyed the country, destroyed the economy, have destroyed the education system, particularly in inner cities for folks, destroyed the education system, the healthcare system, law and order, sanitation, and they specifically brought in people that would not acclimate to our culture and our society. It could not be assimilated. It did not want to be assimilated, and we're going to be arrogant about how they were not assimilated.
So that was the whole thing, is that, America's supposed to be the great melting pot, and then you have these people coming in and they don't want to melt. They walk around with their flags and their belief systems and Sharia law and everything else, and he's like, that's going to destroy the country.
Yeah, they're kind of like that snow that fell in Texas a couple of years ago that wouldn't melt.
I don't think it was snow,
but
Bruce.
He's a little bit over the edge. I mean, saying destroy there was a lot of deficiencies in the system well before the illegals started exposing it, and that's the Clive Piven strategy, 100%. I mean, that's Obama. That's his professors and the way he was taught. The Clive Piven strategy is you overwhelm the system with migrants or people that are dependent upon the system, and then it crashes the system, and then the government comes in and swoops up and we need a universal basic income. We need this and this and this. So you're more reliant upon the government and the system. So that's the whole Clive Piven strategy. This is, and them being a terrorist organization, our entire government, I believe, the federal government of the United States is a terrorist organization.
Both sides.
The way that they use, fear and intimidation, to try to get people, with the whole shots and the COVID stuff and all that things. 100%. That's exactly how terrorists work. They want to make you fearful, and then you got to, then we got to, succumb to, the Patriot Act and less privacy because they're out where it's all about national security.
Obey.
Yeah,
Comply.
Exactly. I've been binging the last 2 days because I've been laying around trying to let my body recuperate and not push myself too far because I've been feeling under the weather. But I'm watching this show called Homeland. And it's about the CIA, letting a guy got turned, and it's a pretty interesting show. But there's a lot more probable truth in that situation, and then just the bickering and the backbiting, the politics bullshit that goes on.
Yes,
absolutely,
sir.
So I mean, that is a complete accurate depiction of what's going on currently. But
then you got Saul Alinsky, the underlying platform to push out there. And think about it like this: in the public school system, what more can you indoctrinate this idea? Forget the colleges. Because if you indoctrinate the public schools and they roll into any college whatsoever, it's business as usual. Well, I graduated 12th grade. I'm going to freshman year of college, indoctrination +1. That's what they do. Militarily, don't even want to go there. Just saying, it's compliance depending on, honestly, sadly, the administration, the approach. But you are, if you look this up in the military world, look up who or where the military, the demographics join the military. It's usually like Texas this way because it's patriotism. I did it. I'm going to admit it, but I did it for the right reasons. I was used for the wrong reasons. I retired, but sadly, working in a three-letter V system, I feel like now we were all used. So this is why I'm doing what I'm doing right now, to tell people in these platforms, no, I'm not an elite. I was used. I was bamboozled. We were bamboozled. I don't feel guilty. I did it for the right reason. But tell the people who died from World War whenever, present day, they did it for the right reasons, but they were used as pawns. And it sucks. Total butt. It sucks so bad.
Yep.
Here's how the economy is changing. I think we all have seen stories like this, but this is interesting.
In today's episode of We're Getting Screwed, this package is from 2021 of Swiss Miss. Yes, I know it's old, but I had it in there. But we're going to check the weight and see how much it is. This is a packet from 2025. Check this out. 2021, 1.5 ounces. 2025, 0.9 ounces. You're getting 0.6 less ounces for the same price, and they're saying it's the same. Swiss Miss, do better. That's ridiculous.
I would not do Swiss Miss, period. I'm just saying.
There was another one comparing saltine crackers, and then their saltines are a little bit smaller. Yes. We're getting dish soap that used to be 12 ounces, is now 9 ounces, same price.
Snickers king size.
Yeah. So, you people are upset about the economy, and Trump is wondering what in the world's going on. That's what's going on. People are noticing that, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So. Things are getting smaller. You go to even the deli or the prepackaged, if you want to buy that processed food, used to get 16 ounces a pound. Now you get 12 ounces, right? 2 liters are now 1.7 liters. Mm-hmm. Everything is getting smaller, and the prices aren't staying the same. The prices are continuing to go up. And here's one of the biggest things that I don't think a lot of people are talking about as far as the economy and, now there's a big push for the campaign, the 2026 midterms, about this affordability, right? Situation. And what has happened because of what Trump has done with the energy sector, and energy being down now somewhere around 60 or a little bit below $60 a barrel, which is hard for a lot of these companies to make money at. Anyway, energy costs are way down, but prices of these things that we're paying for are still way up. And energy costs, oil, electricity, all that stuff, the cost to manufacture, transport, hot warehouse, all this stuff, all that's energy focused type of thing. So when energy is high, yes, you can expect prices to go up. But now that energy is low, when is the last time you saw a significant reduction in the prices? Nope. So once it goes up, it stays up. Same thing with the rents, everything else. So these companies are the ones. There was somebody who was saying, I think it was somebody was on Bannon at some point, saying, hey, that the Commerce Secretary needs to get on the phone with some of these big major corporations and saying, hey, energy, your costs are way down. We know you're just padding your pockets right now. And there's some people that would, argue the fact of, they're still recovering from COVID, blah, blah, blah. These companies, publicly traded companies, are making money hand over fist. And it's we, the people, that end up getting screwed.
The unsaid story here is that there's less competition in the market. We noticed this from 2020 forward. There's less different variety, different manufacturers making the same product, right? So there's less competition. When there's less competition, what would normally happen is Bruce makes a loaf of bread, I make a loaf of bread, Eric makes a loaf of bread, and we all go into the grocery store and want to sell it. I want to sell more of mine. I'm going to drop my price by 2 pennies. So I'm cheaper than Eric and I'm cheaper than Bruce. Bruce says, you know what? Screw that. I'm dropping mine by 5 cents, right? And it puts price pressure down. So what's happened is because there's fewer manufacturers, right? It consolidated the marketplace through COVID. A lot of companies are gone now that would have been contributing to that. We don't see it. We have a company that we were buying eggs from, and instead of 12, they're now 10 in the quote unquote dozen. A baker's dozen is 13. What's 10?
How about that?
Right? So you're seeing things like that going on. It's like, I know why people are upset. Certainly, I see what's, everyone sees this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Lower your price of bread there, Eric. You'll beat me.
I'll try. Yeah.
I'm going to charge more for my bread because my bread is better.
It's organic. It's free range.
Bruce, yeah.
and there's some truth in that too. There's a story from I think it was the Monopoly game, right? When they came out with the Monopoly, it was initially too low a price and people didn't see any value in it. And the marketing people said, "Hey, we need to jack the price up." But as soon as they jacked the price up, the thing was flying off of the shelves.
Yep.
So,
it goes both ways. Price elasticity is a real interesting science. Well, that brings us to the end of today's show. We ran a little bit long, guys. Sorry about that, but it seems
always
like everyone's
awesome.
Stuck with us. Joey says it must be the new math. Yep, a lot of veterans feel they have been used. Raindrop. Yep, that's very true.
Raindrop. Awesome.
Bruce has a great message. Thanks, Poppy. You rock. According to Susan. Great, Susan. Thank you for that.
Sure. 369, Poppy. Yeah.
Bruce appreciates that compliment, I'm sure. Eric, thank you so much for joining us today. All I get. Appreciate you.
Love you always.
Yeah.
Again, I'm on the book end. Lewis, we love you. We miss you. We support you. Hang in there and do your due. Absolutely.
And Bruce, 27 days later, good to see you again.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not gonna be 27 days the next time because we were traveling, and then last week was my wife's birthday, and so time is just goes super fast. So yeah, I'm not going to be that far separated from y'all.
Awesome. So we will see everyone here next Thursday, and that will be our next show. And then Bruce, I don't know if you're doing anything between now and Thursday, but maybe you're going to pop on for a little bit.
Who knows? Anything is possible.
Anything's possible.
I am focused on learning and working on my business to make money, because I got to do that. And the content stuff is a side deal. And as I build it, because I want to build this thing right. So that's what I got to do. I got to do it right one time, and we'll be good. So.
Yep, and we're just going to keep this vision in our mind. We're going to keep to have this vision. We're not going to let it go.
Right.
It's burned
That's
into our
just
memory
wrong.
now.
Screen grab that and make that your wallpaper on your computer.
Bruce. Well, I'm
guys.
here, and whatever. I'm your local. I'm here. Bruce, I love you. I missed you since last October. Robert, I'm always here on your channel. Take care of you for
Awesome.
whatever. We don't have trolls, but it's like pumping the room up. So
Sometime we do.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Love you both. I appreciate you both. I
All
thank
right.
you so much.
Appreciate you
Be
both
here
as
and
well.
just
Thank
to
you
hang
guys
out.
for watching.
Yes.
Thank you for
Yep.
giving us a thumbs up, sharing it with your friends and followers, and we will see you bright and early next week. Thanks for watching.
Awesome.